Well, I'm extremely happy to be here with so many people, to have such a large audience, to have people both from the Wisconsin side as well as from the Anderson clan here together with us today. And as you've already heard, I've known Joe for a long time. As Joe put it himself, we've known each other probably since the embryonic stage. That's the Joe way to phrase it. Our mothers, of course, were pregnant at the same time. They were friends. So I always joke with my friends when I tell them, or new people that I introduced Joe to, that first time he and I had the opportunity to high-five each other, we had a woman between us. So it's the first time it happened. And I've known him ever since. And there are two things that always stood up to me most about Joe since the very beginning, since I met him. And the first thing I think Sean can maybe tell you a little bit better about it than I could, but I get to watch in amazement, was his athleticism. From the very beginning, Joe was jogging in a picture right about like there maybe, on that table, number 10 years old. I remember him racing around the block with Eddie Gray and doing his best to stay up in front and always did. And then he was BMXing with Sean. He's playing football on St. Cloud, came back, was boxing. And I think one thing that always stood out for me is when he was a boxer, I never really realized what kind of athlete he was until one day he got serious about boxing. Just another thing that Joe was doing. And so he was with Sean Zahar, he's in the audience, there he is, boxing with Sean. And Joe gets in serious one day and he's doing well, he's exercising well, then he takes the town, then he takes the county, beats an Olympic boxer to do that. Then after that it was easy to take Minnesota. After that it was easy to take the upper Midwest. In fact, I drove out with Martin to Door County, Wisconsin for that little trip. Wasn't it Door County, right?
Yeah.
Door County, Wisconsin. Some of you might have been there in the audience, actually, after that fight. And then he went all the way to nationals. And that's always blown my mind that a guy could do that quickly in 1 year. He won't tell you himself, so I got to tell a few stories to butter him up. The other great quality that Joe has always had from the very beginning is that he's a very caring man. He's a great friend, he's a great confidant, he always has been. You can't be friends this long and not be one person, right? And I think one story that sort of sticks out for me there is when Joe and Martin and I went out to the woods back behind the airport there in Brainerd. We built a big old fort, right, covered in moss and everything. And one day I volunteered. We were going to move back a wall, a bunch of rope. I volunteered to climb up in the tree. And these guys said, "Hey, yeah, don't worry, climb down the rope, we got you." I climbed down the rope, and since I tied it with twine, it broke, and I fell, plummeted more like, about 30 feet. And Martin said, Martin, I think he was like, "Well, take it like a man." That's part of life. Joe, he reached out, he tried to catch me. He went like this, and I was falling like a ton of bricks. I went straight through his arms and hit the ground. And I don't know if he saved my life that day, but he broke my fall anyway. And just to get them back to tell me to come down on that rope, I laid there for a little longer. Big mistake. Joe jumped on top, slap John! Slap me in the face. I took as many slaps as I possibly could take. And then I said, "Okay, I'm alive. But I don't really need to tell many stories to show what kind of a caring man Joe is. You can look out at the audience today and see how many people have come together to be with him. The entire Anderson clan is here, all of whom we've grown up with and loved this whole time. It's amazing to see you all here. And all this time I've known Joe, I've wondered who it was that could match all these marvelous traits. Who that person was going to be. It would take maybe the perfect woman to match a guy like this. And today I have the answer. She's sitting right there. It's Heidi. From the first time I met Heidi and saw Joe and her together, I don't have to explain to you the look in Joe's eyes that he gets when he looks at Heidi makes all of us flutter a bit, makes us all a little envious. And the look that Heidi gives him back, that shows us that she's the kind of woman that knows exactly what she's got and sees him for all he's worth. Sees him the same way all of us have all seen him. It's a beautiful thing. And Heidi herself is every bit a perfect match. She's already out there racing him in Kojak, already learned how to camp, don't climb any trees. Even if he tells you to stay, don't do it. And she is, in every way, the most caring, most sincere, most wonderful, most beautiful woman I can ever imagine for my buddy Joe. And it makes me extremely happy to be here today with you two and to see you coming together and all the rest of the crowd coming together to support you. With that, I'd like to raise a toast. Thank you. To the two kindest, most sincere, most loving people we know, Heidi and Joe. And now to help me recover, Jenna to kind of help me.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Oh, what a day. Did anybody have a nice time? Oh, I cannot tell you what an honor it is to stand here today and address this beautiful woman as bride and you as groom. Today, I want to talk about the abundant gifts that go into your wedding day. First of all, there is the big gift, your unconditional love for one another that brought this day to fruition. Then there are the gifts from all of you, some of them that come in beautifully wrapped boxes, and others that come in the form of loving support that will eternally swell your souls as you reflect on the memories of this day. And then there are the gifts of patience and understanding that will build upon that big gift of love. However, there are also those imperfect gifts that you will give each other. As it happens in my marriage, my husband will look at me with those big blue eyes and offer me some sweet sarcasm. And then I will simply offer him my gifts of patience and understanding and say, "You're a gift." So Heidi and Joe, may you continue to give and receive one another's gifts of love, patience, and understanding. Will you please raise your glasses to this stunning bride and this handsome groom. Heidi and Joe, may you always remember your gifts. May you always share your gifts. And may you always be a gift to one another.
So if anybody's interested, Joe and I are going to go do the obligatory cake cutting. And then there is a build-your-own cheesecake bar over there.